go ahead and lay all the way back. Start to let some good deep breaths flow, nice and relaxed. Feel the body just releasing, body comfortable. Just everything feeling supported. And so from this place, let's take a moment to start tuning into our focus for today. The focus is going to be on glutes. So it's an area I haven't focused on too much. And I think of the glutes as kind of like the bottom of the core. When I say core, what pops into people's mind is usually the abs. So the various abdominal muscles, there's different layers to them. People don't usually think of the glutes as part of that. But if you think of what the core is intended for, it's intended to support us through other movements that we're doing. So for instance, when we're walking or running, it's very much the glutes that create that explosive energy, sending us forward. And so glutes, I do consider as kind of the base of the core. It's also a really strong powerhouse. We don't always have very much awareness of when we use them and what they're doing when we do use them. And so this will be a really good class where we start to tune in to that specific area. We'll be strengthening it, trying to stretch it out in a couple of different ways. You'll see it's kind of fun to try to get into some stretches for the glutes. But think of some of these themes as our intention for today. So think of that powerhouse, that explosive force that sends us forward in our goals. Perhaps that's the way you're tuning into your glutes today. Or perhaps you're tuning into them for that tension that they tend to hold and how strong they can get and how that can kind of bully some of the other smaller muscle groups around it, like the low back muscle groups. And so maybe your goal as you're tuning into the glutes today is to try to help it relax just a little bit more. And there's other things that we'll chat about with the glutes as well. So just kind of stay open for any of those intuitive hits regarding glutes and how they can help send us forward in life. They can be that powerhouse for us, and just how we can help to relax them so that they don't have to stay on guard all the time at attention. And so the first thing we're going to do here is start to hug the knees into the chest. Just take a moment to rock around. We're rocking around the hips, the glutes, all those low back areas. Give it a couple of breaths. As our focus is on glutes today, we're only going to spend a little bit of our time on the mat today. But first and foremost, we're going to send our first thing that helps our glutes to strengthen. So this is a bridge pose. So let the feet go close to the glutes, hands on the floor by the hips. Already start to lift the hips up to a good bridge pose, hips lifting as high as you can. And then what we're going to do to help us start feeling the glutes here is do tiny little pulses. So it's a pulse just an inch or so up of the hips and a slight inch or so down. So pulsing up for 10 and slight relax. 9, pulsing up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and set the hips all the way to the floor. Take this to right half happy baby. So right hand to right foot, the knee goes wide. And I'll let you have a couple of breaths here to do whatever feels good. So you can rock a little bit. You could straighten and bend, just whatever sensations feel really helpful. This is kind of our first thing to start waking up. Since we've built the contraction of that glute area, this one starts to wake up just a little bit through the surrounding muscles and even stretching a little bit into glute. So a couple of easy cycles of breath. Okay, from here, take that right ankle onto left thigh, but leave the left foot on the floor. Hands are on the floor by the hips. A different type of bridge pose. With this one, with that right ankle staying up, we're gonna try to lift the hips up off the ground. 5, and then slowly roll hips back to earth. Good, repeat that. 4, and down. 3, good. 2, last one. Beautiful. As hips relax to floor again, take it to figure 4 stretch now. So this time thread the arms around that left thigh or shin. Okay. As we uncross, take it to normal bridge again. Feet on the floor, hips lifting up, and let's do those 10 little pulses. So lifting hips up 10 and slightly down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax hips all the way to floor. Second side, left half happy baby. A couple of breaths to just kind of swing it around, straighten and bend. Anything that feels good for a moment. Taking left ankle to right thigh. Set it for bridge pose first, that crossed version. So lifting hips as much off the ground as you can. 5, and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now hug it in. Figure 4 stretch. Hug around right. Another huge breath in. Out. Good work. Uncross the foot again, bridge pose. Feet on the floor, hands by the hips. Lift hips up and pulsing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hips down. Do full happy baby. So both grabbing right and left sides. Rocking or stillness, you get to choose. Give it a moment. Easy motions. Slipping the hands to the back sides of thighs. We're going to roll like a ball, trying to rock up to balance. 5, and rock all the way back. 4, back. You got it. 3, beautiful. 2, and last one. Good. Set the bottoms of feet together. I'm going to let this be up to you today. Tilting forward could be a way for you to start feeling the glutes, stretching a little bit more. But sometimes the glutes really try to stay contracted. So it could be a second option to just leave hands behind, heart arching up. if that helps us to relax through inner thighs and glutes just a bit more. Your preference. Either way, feel those glutes relaxed or stretching. Spine starts to rise up. Let's flip the knees up. Feet are planting in front of us. Hands are planting behind us. We're going to lift the hips up, trying to hold in a tabletop spine. If the head is comfortable to rock back, that's fine. If neutral lift is more comfortable, that's fine. You could have gentle rocking. This could be forward and backward or left or right, whatever you like. We're going to try to stay here. Those glutes gently lifting us up for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the hips down. We're taking it to a boat pose. You can use hands under thighs or hands float. It's up to you. From boat, we're going to do a reverse bicycle. So you straighten the leg out, lift up to bend it in. So we're sweeping out, lift up to come in. Second side. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Tuck the left foot in, let the right leg extend out. Just a moment to get into a stretch for the glute area. You can choose leaning forward or leaning toward right leg. It's up to you. But notice, kind of really try to bring awareness to the glutes, because oftentimes we focus more on the hamstrings for this. So notice how sometimes the smallest little change or adjustment suddenly gets us right into a stretch that wasn't there before. So for instance, letting the low back straighten just a little bit longer is what I do to get right into that glute. Just a couple of breaths, nice and easy. Okay, as we lift up, tuck this right foot in, extend the left leg out. Let's do the same thing, really trying to fill a moment with stretching for that glute. Coming up, we're going to have several things back to back to back for glute strengthening, so this is just a nice chance to help lengthen before we get right into the contractions. One more good inhale. Exhale. Lifting up. Let's send both legs underneath us. Take a few cat-cows. Notice how the glutes can affect the cat-cow. For instance, when you're in the cat, you can do a slight traction of the glutes, helping the rounding. When you do the cow, you need to release any contraction. Good. Take another 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. So spine back to neutral. So here we're going to take a position. I'm going to call for today's class the starting position. And this is something that we're going to use multiple times, both kneeling and standing. This is one of the most powerful ways to get into the glutes. So the starting position is that the right leg goes back behind us, but it's a bent knee shape, so the foot is above the knee. So from that shape, this first thing we're going to do is take right knee to the nose, extend it back to the start position, and pump the foot up and down. 3, 2, 1. Take it again. Here's repeating 4. Pump it up. 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 2, 1. 1. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Straighten the leg for just a moment. Push back into a brief calf stretch. And right knee goes to floor. Left leg in that starting position. Take knee to nose. 5. Pump. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 2, 1. And 1. 3, 2, 1. Extend the toes, calf stretch. And take either kneeling plank or full plank. Try to slowly lower yourself down to the ground, however slowly you can get there. Good. From there, we're going to do little pulses. With the pulse, the hands hover above the ground. We're going to lift legs and chest at the same time. That's an inhale, so lift legs and chest. 10. Exhale gently down. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. You choose a back bend. Either slide the elbows under and through to Sphinx or press into the hands for Cobra. You choose the back bend. Try to have shoulders away from ears, neck nice and long. And let's gaze over one side, a slight twist. And gaze over the other side. Good. Back through center, a huge inhale. And exhale, let's take just a moment, child pose. Send those hips back, relax the spine forward. Back up to neutral kneeling. Right leg extends out onto the floor behind us. And then we're going to do 10 heel lifts. So the heel lifts as high as it can. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When the right knee drops down, let your tail wag for just a moment, making sure the glutes aren't getting too tight. And then left toe slide back, heel lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee down, couple of hip wags. And downward facing dog when you're ready. Feel how lifting the hips really high is an amazing way to help those glutes get it just a teeny bit of stretching. So give it a couple of breaths here. Let it be up to you. You can stay here a bit longer or walk your way up to the top of mat in a forward fold when you're ready. And let's take an inhale to rise. And exhale, hands down to heart. So we're gonna do some fierce pose shapes. So note that you can either have big toes touching, in that case, inner thighs squeezed together, or feet parallel with the hips. In that case, just make sure the knees don't constantly rock in and out. We're trying to keep them parallel. So start off in mountain, arms by the sides. As we set the hips back, the arms sweep up by the ears. Inhale, back up to mountain. Exhale, fierce. Inhale, mountain. Here's 10. Keep breathing. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. So we're going to take a little break before we go just immediately into another glute thing. So this will be a nice malasana squat. The feet come about as wide as the mat, toes turn out. If you need to come to half squat instead, that's fine. Otherwise, full malasana, pushing elbows into knees. Feel if you can release and relax through glute area rather than staying clenched tight. And some people just holding here is kind of enough work for hip area, but if it's not too hard to take a twist, I'll offer that as an option. So right shoulder goes closer to right knee, right fingers to floor, left hand up to sky. And then take that hand behind the head and try to open the elbow just a little bit more, pushing the head back. Good, back through center. And left elbow closer to knee, left fingers down, right hand up. And hand to back of head, push back to open. Nice inhale. Exhale, malasana in the center. And one bonus breath here. Good inhale. Exhale. Fingers down. Straighten legs. Turn the toes forward. Even maybe do a slight sway. So right knee bends just a hair. The hips go a little bit further to right. And then left knee bends. Hips a little bit to left. Just back and forth a few rounds. Good, and don't feel like you have to rush your head up, but we're eventually coming up to stand. Good, hands down to heart. We're gonna be shifting our weight onto our left foot. Our right knee is trying to float in front of us. It's okay if it's a baby float. It's also okay if you take the knee up parallel with hip. As we swing it back, keep it in that bend knee shape like the starting position. The arms are welcome to open up like balance beam. And then try to return right back where we were. So this is 5. Floating in front. Try not to touch floor if you can, but if you need to, it's fine, whatever. And here's tilting for 4. And up, good. If you need to move even slower, that's okay. Find something to look at that's not moving on the floor. 3. Good catch. Oh, so good. and up. 2. Good. It is hard. We can feel that for last one. When we're tilting, extend the legs straight and gently set just the toes down. So the arms are going to sweep up to sky. You're going to contract your right glute. So if it's currently loose, contract it, squeeze it up. And notice how in squeezing, you can straighten the back knee just a little bit more. So take a moment here to bring hands to the back of the head. Head pushes back, a nice chest opener. Good. And then sweep arms back up to sky. And take both hands onto this left thigh. We're still squeezing right glute. What we're going to try to do, 3 pulses. On the third one, we're slowly using glute strength to lower the knee to the floor. So squeeze right glute, bend the right knee a little bit down, pulse 3, back up. Keep the glute squeezed, 2. And then on this last one, keep the glute squeezed. It's the glute that slowly drops knee to floor. Good work. Keep that glute still squeezed, sliding forward like a lunge. 3, and back. Note that you don't go quite as far in the lunge with the glute there, but that's okay. 2, 1. Good. Go back forward. A brief twist. Left arm opens up. And then returning forward, let's take a little stretch before we continue. So left leg slides its way forward until it's straight. A nice half split. Ease the way down. Okay, so now this left foot comes underneath the body. Dolphin pose, drop down to elbows. One hand makes a fist, the other hand hugs around the fist. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. This is dolphin. We're going back and forth between this shape and then head rocking forward like battering ram. That's 10. Lift hips back up. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Feel free to take a moment with child pose. We're doing good. I promise I'll give our glutes a break before the end of this. Just an easy breath flow. You're welcome to stay here a couple more breaths or take a down dog when you're ready. From the down dog, you can stay or head to the forward fold when you're satisfied. Okay, let's take a bonus breath in the forward fold. One good inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart. Okay, so we need to do the second side. This time we're standing on right. Maybe hands at the heart if you like that start. We're trying to float left knee. It doesn't have to be super high. Kick it back to that starting shape. 5. And good one. 4. Sometimes one side is just better at balancing. 3, 2. It's all good. It's getting tired. Last one. Hold. Extend. Land just the toes. Arms sweep up to sky. And then hands behind head. Contract left glute if it's not there already. And try to straighten left leg. Lean the head backwards. Good. Arms sweep up to sky. And then hands stack on this right thigh. We can use that as much as we need to help us out. Keep the left glute contracted. A slight bend, pulsing. 3, 2. And then keep the glute contracted. It's the glute strength that slowly lowers left knee down. Good. Lunging forward. Keep the left glute contracted. 3, 2, 1. Going back forward, right arm takes a brief twist open. Turn. Let this right foot scoot forward until it's in half split. And just pause for that little stretch. Inhale, exhale. Start to swing this right knee underneath us, dropping down to elbows. If just holding in just a normal dolphin pose shape is enough for this one, you can just hold. Otherwise, a glute strengthener we can do from dolphin is straight leg lifting up. You'll go right and then left. Maybe trying to get 10 counts, or in other words, 5 reps for each. So set up the dolphin, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Maybe this one you walk the toes in just a little closer. If you're doing the lifts, feel free to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can stay in dolphin a little longer, or when you're satisfied with that, take a moment with child. Moving forward to plank or kneeling plank. Try to do that slow motion lowering of belly to floor. We're going to do 10 more of those lifts of chest and legs with your inhale. When you're ready, inhale, 10 lift. Exhale down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Sphinx or Cobra, you choose the back bend. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe if you like a slight twist, gaze over one shoulder. For the other. And again, feel free to take a child for a moment. Good. So we're heading toward the final strengthening section. This one you'll see the thing that we're going to do repeated each time. That's the strengthening part. And then each time it'll lead us to a different stretch. And so that'll kind of get us starting to slow down just a little bit, kind of climbing now down the mountain. So it starts off from the right leg back in that starting position. This time, just one cycle. So knee to nose, pumping the foot up to sky, 3, 2, 1. Now take the right knee, try to touch the right tricep. And then return it to pump up to the sky, 3, 2, 1. Now straighten the right leg, tapping toes to floor, heel lift for 3, 2, 1. Now turn this into a plank position, floating that bent left knee. So float that for 3, 2, 1. Straighten left leg up to sky, 3-legged dog. And step left foot to outside of left hand. And this is the stretch part. So feel free to lower right knee down. I personally love to turn the left toes further to the left, even dropping right elbow down to block or thwart. And feel how the glutes have been contracting kind of this whole time. So maybe that left glute is willing to relax just a little bit. This particular pose gets kind of the starting opening stretch for that hip, that glute area. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, let's make our way back up to hands. We're lowering left knee underneath us for a moment while we reset, making sure we're in a good neutral kneeling spot. And then it's the left leg that needs to go to starting position. You can knee to nose and pulse the foot up. 3, 2, 1. Left knee to left tricep. And back to start. 3, 2, 1. Extend the leg, tap the toes on floor, and then float left heel. 3, 2, 1. Turn it into plank, floating right knee. 3, 2, 1. Right leg up to sky, 3-legged dog. And right foot steps to outside of right hand. Left knee is welcome to lower. Hips sink forward. I personally love to turn the right toes to the right. If you like to lower left elbow to floor, that's fine. This one is a little bit strength-based still, but see if you can allow permission for the right glute to at least take a moment trying to relax. Two more breaths, try to keep it slowed a little bit more down than normal. Good. So coming up to hands, sliding that right leg back. So one more of those strengthening reps for each side. So right leg starting position. Right knee to nose. Pulsing up. 3, 2, 1. Right knee to right tricep. Pulse up. 3, 2, 1. Extend the right toes, tap floor. Right heel lifts. 3, 2, 1. Plank, floating that left knee. 3, 2, 1. Left leg up to sky. Maybe this time, turn the hip open, sending the toes just a little bit behind you. And then we're gonna send that left knee under and through into pigeon pose. So I'm gonna give you an option. You do not have to take this option. This option will allow that left glute to have just a little bit longer contracting before we release it. So if you're taking the option, left elbow goes to floor, and then right hand stacks on that left hand like a prayer position. Now from here, we're balancing in a twist. Feel how you can contract that left glute for greater stability. So try to find stability for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release down both elbows to normal sleeping pigeon. Notice how that left glute wants to stay contracted. So this is the time to tell the soldier that it can be put at ease. That's one of the interesting things is sometimes the strong points feel like they have to be constantly in overdrive. But if we do that, we wear out our strengths. And so we can allow our strengths to occasionally be put at ease. Continue to consciously send the thoughts of relaxation to glutes. Keep on slowing down the breath. Let's try to be here about 3 more slow breaths. Those 3 hands plant. Take our way back to a neutral kneeling place. Sometimes it's nice to do a couple of hip wags. Just kind of bring the body to reset. And from the neutral kneeling place, left knee is its starting spot. Knee to the nose. Pulse up to sky. 3, 2, 1. Left knee to left tricep. Pulse to sky. 3, 2, 1. Extend the leg, tap the toes, lift the heel. 3, 2, 1. And from plank, start to lift the right knee. Holding 3, 2, 1. 3-legged dog, right leg up to sky. Maybe send the toes behind you, hip opening. And right-sided pigeon pose. So again, if you're doing the contraction, once you get your legs set up, right elbow is down, stack the palms in the prayer position, and right glute is squeezing for a moment to stabilize. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel free to release to sleeping pigeon if you like that shape. Again, if right glute doesn't want to release, try to consciously remind it, it's okay, you're safe. breath, continuing to slow. We're heading to those final minutes, getting more and more just to stretching. Last good slow inhale. Exhale, we're up to hands. Get the knees underneath us. Final set of 3 pulses. Right toes slide back. They tap the floor. Just 3, 2, 1. Now cross the knee past the left knee. And allow yourself, it doesn't have to touch the floor, but you're just kind of starting to sink the hips back a little bit. This is creating a little bit of extra space for glutes to open. Just about 2 breaths, not here too long. Good, and walk the hands forward, uncross, left toe slide back. Just a simple 3, 2, 1. Left knee crosses behind. And then walk your hands just a little further back until you're kind of hovering. Starting to get those hips and glutes to open. Hands walk forward. As we uncross the knees, let's come to a comfortable seated place. Leaving the left foot tucked in, we're cradling right. So grab onto knee and foot. Rock that hip out a couple of times. And shin stack. If shin stack doesn't work, take it to cross leg. We haven't done much for shoulders and back, so let's just take a brief moment. Right elbow crosses under left for eagle's wrap. Lift the elbows up, a slight opening to the back. Good. Elbows into the belly. Punch the upper back forward so we get that space stretching in between shoulder blades. And then as we start to uncross the hands, the fingers find the floor. Walk as far forward as you can. This for me is the biggest glute stretch of them all. Of all possible ways to try to get into the glutes, this is the one that definitely gets me there each time. Think of it like it's just a castle that's completely protected. It doesn't like to get to that vulnerable stretching point. It likes to be the guard, that powerful point instead. So just remind it, it's okay to be relaxing sometimes. So one more breath in, out, rising up. We're switching the cradle, so prepare left. Give it a couple of good rocks. Shin stack or cross leg. Eagle wrap, arms, left elbow under. Elbows lift up. Elbows to belly button. Space in between shoulder blades. Unwinding the arms, find the floor, walk forward. Okay, so walking back in. Set the left foot on the floor. Seated figure 4, so right ankle is up. Your right glute needs a little bit more, you'll scoot the left foot closer, but you don't have to do much. By the way, give your back a little bit of space, so maybe scoot up the mat just a little bit. So if that right hip and glute feel really tight, try to send the thought of relaxation to that area for just a moment. We'll go from the seated version, dropping down to elbows, and then lowering onto your back for the full figure 4 stretch. Thread around that left side. Hands release. Keep the figure 4, so right ankle stays up, but left foot goes to floor. Take a brief moment, allowing both of these legs to tilt over to right. Back up, tilt over to left. Good, come back up, uncross the ankle, one more side, do a little crunch to come up to seat. And we've got left ankle to right thigh. Option to slide the right foot closer if you need. Try to relax left glute. Relaxing down to the elbows and down to lay on the back. Hug around right side. Releasing the hands. Brief tilt of this unit all the way over to the left after the right foot finds contact with floor. Good. And lifting back up, tilt it over to the right. Okay, when we come back up, let's start to find Shavasana. This could be legs straight. This could be feet planted, knees falling into one another. If there's any last movements you need, that's also fine, like normal. Take whatever time you need. But eventually, when your mind gets in that state, ready to just relax in Shavasana, think of breathing in a color of your choice as kind of a type of gratitude, and imagine that you can send that color down to your glutes. Telling the glutes, thank you for your strength today. Thank you for kind of holding guard. Thank you for lessons that you've taught me. Just allowing ourselves to be in that state of gratitude for the glutes for just a couple more minutes, laying back here now. Begin to deepen inhales and exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body. Stretching in ways that just feel good. If you'd like a fetal position, you're welcome to roll over to a side for a couple of breaths. Maybe 3 or 4 good cycles until you're ready to rise sooner or later, no rush. So with hands at the heart, we allow ourselves to review some of the lessons the glutes might have taught us. That reminder, perhaps, that it's okay if you don't always get the attention. The glutes, like I said, I consider to be one of the very powerful parts of the core, but people don't always think of it as the core. So after today's class, we experience how much it does. So it's okay to not be the spotlight all the time. We think of the glutes as that propulsion force leading us powerfully toward our future, our goals, our hopes, our dreams. We think of it being that castle, that guard, that stronghold that doesn't like to relax. But when we allow it to relax, it doesn't pull so strongly on some of the surrounding areas, the back muscles especially. So some of these big lessons that the glutes teach us, we recognize and we listen to our intuition, perhaps regarding others, and how we can apply these lessons. So with all this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.